I'm shooting this rather late, I know, but I still want to talk about it. Did go see Hunger Games at midnight. What I think about it, it was... First of all, let me just say I'd never read any of the books. I'm doing this thing now when these books or, novels, whatever you want to call them, comic books, comic books is a little bit hard, but with books specifically, when they get adapted into film, my rule is to never read these things and pretty much just get into the film first and then read the book later, because I'll get into this in mid-review as well, why I do this. But let's talk about the movie, and I'll get into why I didn't read the book and watch the film instead. The movie was amazing. Let's get that out of the way. The movie was amazing. The actors were amazing. The story was amazing. Everything about this movie was really amazing. Was really fun and amazing. You had Elizabeth Banks, you had Woody Harrelson, you had a couple other actors that I can't. The chick from X-Men First Class who played Katniss was also Mystique. Forgot the actress's name, but she was amazing. I'm going to be saying amazing throughout this whole thing, but it really was an amazing film. Why it was amazing to me? It's pretty much every sci-fi I've ever seen. Growing up, or growing up and just in these past years, rolled into one. You have a hint of The Running Man in there. You have a hint of a little bit of Logan's Run in there. You have a hint of let's see, Battle Royale. That's not a sci-fi, but you have a little bit of that in there. You have a bit. You even have an odd hint of Soylent Green in a way in there. You have pretty much all these, like Death Race 2000. You almost have a hint of that in there with the killing and everything, and the killing being not so much a sport, but just like a game in general. You basically have all these cool elements that I like about these old classic cheesy sci-fi films and post-apocalyptic films rolled into this whole thing, and it's really great. It's almost like you got the best of the schlock, and then you sprinkle this truffle that is, the Hunger Games on top of it, and you make, this unique film out of it, basically. You get, it's like ultimate fanfic film, but in a good way, not in the insulting way that fanfic usually is associated with, but it's a really good film. Romance felt a little bit forced, but according to the book, the romance is supposed to be shitty fake anyway, so I can't shit on that. My only gripe was, and this is the lamest gripe according to, a couple of people that have read the book, that my whole gripe is, why did it take 74 fucking games for them to rebel and all this other stuff? But according to the book, it doesn't point it out so much that way. So, and if you read the book, like I'm going to start reading it, and what I've been filled in by the book, it's drastically different. That I have heard. So this is why, and I told you I was going to get to this is why I don't read these books before watching these films, because if I go in reading the book, and me being the nitpicky critic that I am, I'm really going to just tear this thing apart. And, and I could do that, and that's just atypical. So, not atypical, but just typical in general. And, that wouldn't really me be giving, like, a fair review, because I already know stuff's going to be changed, and I'm going to hate it, so I can't go in there and just, I might as well not watch it. And I wanted to watch this, so I made sure to not read anything before getting into it. Hell, I didn't even see any trailers for this. I knew the movie was coming out, and I knew it was based on a book. There was a million trailers I could have watched, and I didn't. And watching it, I'm glad I didn't, because I got to enjoy a film, and I get to just enjoy the book now and see the differences, and I won't be so scarred by, they did change things dramatically, Then again, I'm not really that person that's gonna really rip things apart just because, something got dramatically changed from a book or whatever. I already know better than that, so I really shouldn't be too upset by those kind of things. So, I shouldn't, and I really don't. I try to appreciate things for what they are, and like I said, my whole theory is, I want to go in enjoying something because I'm paying for it. I don't want to go into a film already hating it. Sometimes I may say, yeah, I already knew I wasn't going to like this or whatever, but even then I still try to find something good about it. If the movie's just that bad, then I have nothing good to say. There's nothing I could have, said at all that would have made this movie worth watching. Today I watched my Hangover 2 review. I think I just go on and hating that movie throughout, and Green Lantern was the same way. You know, a few movies that I do like that are like that. It's just I can't help it. There's nothing good I could tell you about those movies in general. Probably some things I remember that were probably good in there, but not enough for me to go, I recommend it, or I give it a good number out of 10. You know. But anyway, so go see Hunger Games. If you haven't heard the numbers already, they're doing pretty well. They give a lot of money. Go see it. I mean, honestly, like, there's no reason. Go see it. If you haven't read the book, really go see it. If you haven't read the book yet, go see it. If you read the book, I know why you guys are griping, you know, about the movie. You guys are a little bit let down. A few of you, you know, understand, like, on my level, the difference between a movie adaptation and, you know, all that other stuff. So bravo to you for actually, you know, enjoying it. And I'm sorry for those of you who didn't enjoy it because it's drastically different from the book, but it is a film. What did you honestly expect from a film adaptation, you know, from Hollywood's point of view of a book? You know, like, they're not going to give you exactly what's in there. And for all that, still, I should say go see it. It was a fun movie. So that's all I got to say. Living After Midnight. Good night, everybody. I've called you. Oh, I just realized I didn't even give you guys a 1 out of 10 on this thing. Okay, you're probably gonna be not surprised by this. I give this movie, honestly, 10 out of 10. Why do I give it 10 out of 10? Everything that it just reminded me of all the cool things that I liked about sci-fis. It reminded me, you know, how good a really simple story can be, and how it does, and how, well, the movie was just fucking awesome. I mean, everything about it. I mean, I'm just gonna say everything. I enjoyed everything about that film. The psychotic murdering, the cheesy moments, the costumes, the dialogue, everything about this movie was just fun. I was pretty much entertained from beginning to end. Loved it. So it gets a 10 out of 10 for that. Yes, that's why it gets a 10 out of 10. It entertained me. It entertained me well. No, not even well. It entertained me from beginning to end. I fucking loved it. So, 10 out of 10. Good night, everybody. PopCultureGeek.com